just what we're used to, I guess. They've been good for the last few weeks. You have the international break probably come for the wrong time for them. But I look at it now more than anything is that you go against 10 men, that's fine. With players, it's sometimes tough to break down. It is tough against 10 men, but players have got to take accountability. It's all right hiding behind the managers, but you're on the pitch, you've got leaders, characters, and the biggest eye-opener, and I think the alarming bit was how much they missed and relied on Matheus Cunha.
Jamie?
Yeah, he talks about complacency. I think it's on the manager. That last night was, really and truthfully, you look at the performance, you know, massive chance for them to get themselves up into the top four against a decent Everton side. They go down to 10 men and you lose the game. That's on the manager. You know, Gary Neville touched on it there. They're playing 5 at the back. And when they go down to 10 men, the first thing the manager should do is put on an attacking player and take a centre-half off. You do not need 3 players at the back. And I think he's out of his depth. And we've been hoodwinked into thinking that over the last month or so they've had a couple of decent performances, a couple of decent results. He's miles off it. Miles off it. That's look, Charles, I agree with you over the complacency, you know, with the players as well. But a manager to not change his tactics when they've gone down to 10 men and you leave 5 at the back, but that's ridiculous.
But you say hoodwinked on the results that they've obviously had. That's because they've been so below par since obviously he's come in, and we talked about him and his tactics, this kind of stuff. However, the players have to contribute to the match day result, don't they? And I get they're going out there, but we've done it as players. You go across the white line, now you're out there. Yes, he's chosen a team and picked the 11, the tactics, but you still got to go and perform.
But you still need the gaffer to help you out, don't you?
Yeah, but they've
if you're a striker and you're looking over at the gaffer going, they're down to 10 men, I'm still playing up front on my own. You're saying, gaffer, help me out, put someone up with me.
Of course, but Premier League players surely use their IQ that, right, we can move forward at least. We know how hard it is to break down a block of 10 men behind the ball, of course, but surely it's Manchester United. Or, however, are we now looking at it because of them results where they've done well the last 4 or 5 games? Are you thinking, right, they've made progression? Or is it just going to be the same old Man United?
I think the manager's so arrogant, Tom. He's so arrogant in his formation that he is so hell-bent on saying, I'm playing 3-4-3. This is the formation that works for me. I'm not changing my philosophy, regardless of what happens. A game changes. Over 90 minutes in a game, in-game management as a manager, you've got to adapt. Things happen. Things change. You might have a player sent off. They have a player sent off. Use the numerical advantage that they had last. They didn't use the advantage that they had because they had 3 players standing at the back marking 1 player. So it was pointless having Everton down to 10 men because they didn't do anything about it.
There was someone there, Charlie, messaging on WhatsApp saying that why did they need 3 centre-backs against Tierno Barry on his own, which I think is the point is one of the points Jamie's making. I remember you saying, Charlie, that when Manchester United picked up their form, we weren't talking about the formation anymore, like we were every single day, it seemed, when they weren't doing so well. But, and the formation has been working lately, but they haven't been playing against 10 men.
No, they haven't. And I guess that's where you go on about where you have to adapt to certain...
It was Chelsea, I suppose.
Yeah, but you have to adapt to certain scenarios, right, and certain situations. But regardless, you've played 3 centre-halves against 1. Well, surely they've got enough about them, enough experience in that back 3 to go 1 in front, 1 in behind, and then you just tuck in.
But
you just move into the position.
Shaw's got a lot of England caps. De Ligt has got a
well, that's what I'm saying.
lot of caps. They do have a lot of experience. They've got Bruno Fernandes caps. That was not a young team who needed the manager to say, you've got to press forward.
That's what I'm saying. So surely you can make them decisions on the pitch also. Experienced players. Yes, you got the manager. I'm not saying go against the manager. Of course not at all times. But you can feel it on the pitch. You can change it. Them leaders on the pitch should be able to make changes and make decisions for themselves during the game. Yes,
I think they're scared, though, Charles. I think they're scared. I think the players at Man United are scared to make decisions.
But what's that say about Man United then, Jay?
Well,
like, what's that say? If you've got players, this is why the spotlight's on Matheus Cunha, because he's someone that's there carrying the badge, carrying the Man United shirt, and playing like a Manchester United player of old. Yeah. And now you've got players on the pitch that are scared to make decisions. That's ridiculous.
Well, Bruno Fernandes was on the pitch.
Yeah, but Bruno Fernandes, he's not. It can't be a one-man band, right? You've got to have quality around you. You've got to have players that can make a difference. You know, and there's, you know, finding spaces, finding gaps. When I was watching the game last night, not only did they have 3 at the back, but there was moments when it goes out to the winger, Ahmad's a good player, by the way, and I like him. He was decent last night, and he'll have a go. But when he's turning back, His pass is 20 yards backwards instead of it being 5 yards backwards or 5 yards inside where you can keep the pressure. When you watch Bournemouth play, Tom, they're a brilliant example of how to pin teams in. They'll pin you in. They'll keep getting crosses in the box. They head it out. There's someone on the edge of the box, chest it, back out, another cross. They keep the pressure on. Man United, they don't keep the pressure on you. They let you out because they haven't got the belief to go and press high because they're so scared about getting done in behind because they've got no pace at the back that they don't go and let players go in and stand on the edge of the box. When you watch it, it's unbelievable. The gaps between the three centre-halves standing at the back and the midfielders of Man United. They're scared. Go and step in, take a risk and believe in yourself that you can pin a team in and eventually the chances will come. But they have one cross, gets headed out, Everton on the break.
When we've been talking the last few weeks, Jamie, about Manchester United getting into the top four, and we've been asking the viewers that as well, we've got Manchester United fans on to talk about it, we'll be getting ahead of ourselves.
Well, I mean...
Be honest. Like, I'm saying yes. No, I'm saying yes because of...
You think they can get in the top four?
No, I'm saying we're getting ahead of ourselves because of the reaction of them, and that's just a quick reaction because they've won back-to-back games and some teams are dropping off. You can't. I'm not saying you can't forget about last season. They was really poor. They underachieved massively. So you're not just going to flip it. It's the same manager. They've signed a couple of new players, etc. But for me, I think that's not happening. That's getting way ahead of themselves.
I think the Premier League, when you look at it, I mean, look, Aston Villa have picked up and all of it because everyone was kind of forgetting that Aston Villa are a really good team with a top manager. So, you know, I think there's clubs there you don't expect to maybe last till the end of the season. Man United need to kick on, and you know, you're seeing Liverpool down there. Are they going to stay down there? Tottenham have dropped away. So, do I think Man United getting the top?
Sky Sports reports that Manchester United's embarrassing defeat has sparked major debate inside the football world, with analysts questioning whether the loss came down to sheer complacency, flawed tactics from Ruben Amorim, or a damaging mix of both. Many believe United switched off at key moments, allowing their opponents to dictate the tempo, while others argue Amorim's system failed to adapt under pressure, leaving gaps that were ruthlessly punished, raising serious concerns about the team's mentality and game plan heading into their next fixtures.